Welcome to the 2015 Sioux Falls School Board Candidate Forum. I'm Betty Oldenkamp, moderator for this evening's Candidate Forum, and I'm here representing the League of Women Voters of Sioux Falls. Our forum this evening is sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Sioux Falls, the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce, the Sioux Falls School District, and the Sioux Falls Education Association. We appreciate their partnership and the participation of the school board candidates this evening. At the conclusion of the candidate portion of tonight's forum, we will have representatives here for the school start date referendum forum that begins at 7:30. Today's forum is being held at the Instructional Planning Center and is being broadcast live on Midco Cable Channel 20 and 595. This forum will also be rebroadcast several times until the election. The dates for the rebroadcasts are April 3rd at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., April 4th at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m., April 5th at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m., and April 6th at 7 a.m. Election Day will be held on Tuesday, April 14th, and conducted at 13 vote centers throughout the Sioux Falls School District. On Election Day, voters may choose any one of the vote centers to cast their ballots. The vote centers will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. For specific locations of these vote centers, you may visit the district's website, www.sf.k12.sd.us. In order to vote in this school board election, you must live within the Sioux Falls School District. Absentee ballots will be available at the County Auditor's Office in the Minnehaha County Administration Building from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily through April 13th. We do have some sample ballots outside of the room, and the location for the vote centers is listed on the back of those ballots. This election features three candidates that are vying for two positions. Kate Parker and Todd Thelke are current school board members running for re-election, and Randy Dopperbuhl is a candidate for one of the two open seats. If you are watching at this time, you can call in with questions by dialing 367-7900, and this number will be appearing on your screen during the program. Today's forum is also being web streamed and is available for viewing on the district's website, and again that is www.sf.k12.sd.us. And it will be available within a couple of days after the forum this evening. Each of our candidates are going to have 1 minute for their introductions, and as we present questions, they will each have 1 minute to respond. At the end of the session, there will also be 1 minute for closing comments. There will be no rebuttal time. Is that right, or is it 90? The timers are saying it's 1:30 to respond. Let us verify. We are looking for audience questions, and so for those of you that are here in person tonight, there are some note cards on the chairs. You can write your questions on those, raise your hand, and a runner will come and pick up that question. The questions will then be reviewed by members of the league to determine whether or not that topic has already been addressed. As we get ready to start, we do ask that you turn your cell phones to silent or any other electronic devices that you may have with you. And if you do need to hold a conversation, we ask that you take that outside of this room. I want to just verify what we're doing for time. 1:30, 90 seconds for responses. And so with that, we are going to move to our introductory comments. We are going to do those in the order in which the candidates appear on the ballot. So we are going to begin with Randy Dopperbuhl.
Well, I want to thank you, Betty, for stepping up to keep us in line and on time. I want to thank the League of Women Voters, the Chamber, SFVA, and the school district for hosting this event to help educate the community on the candidates and the ballot issue. And I want to thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for tuning in at home. My name is Randy Dauberpool, and my family and I have lived in Sioux Falls since 2007. My wife works with the school district. We have 2 boys at the elementary stages. They attend Harvey Dunn. One is in kindergarten and one is in 2nd grade. I work for Minnehaha County Human Services as a case manager for the Safe Home program, which provides permanent housing for the chronically homeless in Sioux Falls. I also volunteer my time as a mentor through the LSS mentoring program. Ever since we moved back in 2007, my mother-in-law, Dr. Kathy Coulter, encouraged me to get involved with this program, and I have been ever since. I've been volunteering for going on 8 years now, and I have 2 little mentors that I do. And this is my shameless plug to LSS here. If you're not a mentor, I currently strongly encourage you to get involved. We need mentors. I also volunteer with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and I've been doing that for 4 years. This is another wonderful program, and another program I strongly encourage folks to get involved with. They have helped me grow personally as a parent, a community member, and as an advocate. I also help with United Way, which is as a co-chair for the government division. I get the opportunity to work with the most influential pieces in our community.
Forgot to warn you that when your time is up, I will interrupt. So we will move next to Todd Thelke.
Thanks, Betty. Boy, she's not messing around, so I better get going. I'm here before you today asking you for the opportunity to serve the community as a school board member for my 2nd term. I think as a school board, we have done a fantastic job at serving the taxpayers, teachers, staff, but most importantly, the students' needs. We have, without a doubt, made some tough decisions. I personally have made myself very available and am approachable. I have served as the school board vice president over the last year, and during my last 3 years have served on many committees. Some are the PTA, Teacher of the Year, Sports Authority, Insurance, and Policy Committee. I am excited as we look forward to the coming years of what the Sioux Falls School District is going to look like. I continue as a realtor to be an ambassador of our great community. I come from a long line of educators, both parents being lifelong educators, my wife working for the school district, and both of my beautiful, wonderful daughters have been through the entire school district, except Emma, she's still a sophomore. My oldest daughter is a graduate and is now a freshman in college, and I attribute her success to our wonderful school district. My passion is dedicated to the betterment of all the children of this district. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the Sioux Falls Education Association. I ask you to allow me to continue the great job I've done so far and ask for your support, and more importantly, make sure that you vote on April 14th. Thank you.
All right, now we will move to Kate Parker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kate Parker, and I've been on the school board for 6 years. There's so many things that we have accomplished in my 6 years on the board. Some of the things I'm most proud of. Most recently, we worked with our educators, the community, and as many stakeholders as we could think of to build a leadership profile to determine what we were looking for in our next superintendent. And I am so thrilled with our choice of Dr. Brian Maher. We opened the Career Technical and Education Academy and New Tech High School as alternative ways to educate our children to ensure academic achievement. New Tech High graduated its first class last year with a very impressive graduation rate of 95%. The CTE Academy has seen great success with its programs. With the help of 20 local sponsors, we can offer a variety of programs and opportunities for our students. We instituted a district-wide bullying prevention program. We placed a focus on health and wellness across our community by expanding our school-based health centers and launching an e-care school nurse pilot program just this past fall. We have been steadfast in our support for our most vulnerable and at-risk students, providing them with the tools and supports they need to find success. If re-elected, it is my hope to continue the good work that we have done and to ensure a successful and productive transition during this time of change. As a mother of 2 children, I want to ensure that our children's education experience continues to be enriching, academically challenging, and prepares them for whatever path they choose.
Well, thank you all for those comments. We are now ready to begin with our audience questions. We've got several questions, but go ahead and please continue to submit. Each candidate is going to have up to 90 seconds to respond to each question, and the order of the responses will be rotated among the candidates. And Kate, you get the honor of the first response to the first question. Why do you want to continue to serve on the Sioux Falls School Board?
Well, for many of the reasons that I just stated, we've done really great work these last 6 years, and honestly, the last 10, 15 years, the school district has seen tremendous growth. The programs that we've instituted over the last few years have provided multiple pathways for our students. I am passionate about education and children. I'm really passionate about our vulnerable students, and I know that that is a demographic that we will really need to focus on in the next 5-10 years. And it's something that I want to make sure that we keep our eye on and, as I said before, provide the services and supports that they need to find educational success. I know that, again, as a mother of 2 young boys, well, not so young anymore, you know, their pathways through middle school and high school is going to be so important, and the yellow card gets me every time. We just need to make sure that we have all these pathways available to our students, and hopefully by getting elected again, I will have the opportunity to serve this great community, and that's what I look forward to most.
Thank you. Randy, you're up next. Why do you want to serve on the Sioux Falls School Board?
Well, the reason I had brought up my volunteer experience was the exact reason why I am running for school board. I not only have a personal invested interest with my boys, I also have a personal invested interest as a volunteer and a community member. I feel I have the knowledge, the heart, and the dedication to see that every student gets a fair shot in the Sioux Falls School District. Is our district great? You bet it is, but I think it can be better. Are the teachers awesome? Absolutely. But guess what? We're losing those teachers to our surrounding states, and it's becoming more apparent to teachers coming in that they can get more salary if they just move across the border. So we need to look at that strongly. We need to start saying we're last in the nation and start doing something about it. And also, I want to, if I'm as elected, I would also like to start partnering with the community programs and get a little tighter knit and get community programs more involved in the school system. Those are the reasons why I am running for school board this year. I have a strong community background and knowledge of the resources in our town, and I hope to bring that to the school board. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Todd, why do you want to continue to serve?
Well, first and foremost, I want to make sure that we continue doing the best job we can to educating the youth of Sioux Falls. I'd really like to continue being an advocate for not only the staff, but the teachers and the students of the school district. I feel if you'd ask anyone, I'm approachable. And if anyone has a concern or has a question, I think you can reach me. I think, as Randy alluded to, we need to really step up the efforts in figuring out a way to increase teacher pay. I don't have that answer. I sit as the representative on the Associated School Boards of South Dakota, and they came forward with a 1-cent sales tax during the vacation time. Do I think that's the answer? No. Do I want more tax? No. But what I do want is the conversation to start. And if you check the poll from that, the conversation started and the community understands the need to take care of this. That's one of the many reasons I want to continue on the school board.
Thank you. As we move forward, I'm just going to read the question one time. If you need me to repeat it, you can ask. So the next question is, aside from adequate funding, what do you feel are the biggest issues facing the district in the next 4 years, and how are you best qualified to address them? And we are going to begin this question with Todd.
Sure you are. I think one of our biggest issues is our diversity and embracing that. This is a great opportunity for us to be a part of a district that is very diverse. The other issue is free and reduced lunch has risen quite high. So we need to figure out how to handle this and how to get through that. Also, we need to assist Dr. Brian Maher in communicating with the teachers to let them feel empowered and to start thinking outside of the box. When a teacher thinks outside of the box, everybody benefits from that, the students and their coworkers. So I think we've got quite a few hurdles in front of us, but I think my experience over the last 3 years, not only have we grown as a board, as a district, but I personally have grown and become more, I learned more and know more about what needs to be done. Me too, that card freaks me out when she throws that up. So that's why I think I would be good to continue on as your school board member.
Thank you. Randy, you're next.
As I went around and spoke with different groups, different teacher groups, administrators, curriculum coordinators, I was able to identify some issues that I think we will face coming up. One is there seems to be a rise in behaviors in the classroom. This is a big issue. It's affecting not only that student, but the students around them. And I feel it's something that we really need to tackle and get under control. I have a background with working with kids, and I think bringing some knowledge to the board with that, getting collaborating more with the judicial system, getting a stronger bond with them to help out other agencies in the program, such as VOA, the JDC program. Another issue I think could pop up, and I've heard some rumblings, is teacher morale. And when you hear that, it kind of worries me because that's going to trickle into the classroom. And we need to recognize the teachers and give them recognition, and you'll see how far that'll go. That'll get into the classroom, and that'll raise the kids' spirits and help with education. The other piece I think we could look at, too, is training. How to really affect the mastering of implementation from the trainings that they receive through professional development.
Right. Kate.
This past summer, we got a study. A study was done for us from USD, talked about the demographic changes that our district would see in the next 5-10 years. And it was really eye-opening for us as a board to look at that material and to identify the challenges and the opportunities that that brings to our district. You know, we embrace the diversity in our schools. We realize that poverty is a challenge. More and more of our students are qualifying for free and reduced lunch, and that's going to be probably our greatest challenge over the next 5-10 years. How we're going to approach that, that's something that we've got to figure out. But having this study done and getting a handle on it now is a big step in the right direction. Teacher pay, we've all alluded to this already. We know that it's as low as it can be, and that too has an effect on teacher morale. It's something that we'd like to work with the legislature on, possibly increasing our teacher salaries, figuring out a way to do that. Randy, behavioral issues, juvenile justice, absolutely. With all of our changes, that's going to be something. I know our president, Kent Alberty, has been on a task force for juvenile justice, and so what he brings to the board is his knowledge of that program and what we can do here in the district.
All right, thank you. Our next question is, what committees would you like to take part in, and explain how your background would help benefit you on those committees? And we are going to begin this question with Randy.
Well, coming in, I know there's certain committees that the board can choose to participate in, and I'm one to follow the chain of command, so if the newbie coming in has to be the last one to pick those committees, I'll be fine with that. But the ones I really am looking at would be obviously the Affordable Housing Board. That's what I do. That's what I work in. I think I'd be able to bring some great knowledge to that committee. The Safe and Secure Schools Committee, I think, would be another one I would, my background would help me in. I deal with individuals who are very, I guess, unpredictable, and you have to be on guard, and we go through several trainings for that, safety trainings. And I think the new one coming up is a calendar committee to help, so we can avoid this issue in the future with the ballot measure coming forward. And if it's possible, creating some new committees. Education committee, if possible, to help educate the community more on as things change in the district, such as maybe, we did the funding 101, well we didn't, but I guess the school district did with Todd Veek, and so maybe having like a Common Core 101 or something along those lines to help educate the community a little more.
Thank you. Todd?
With my wife working for the district, we are holders of the insurance, and so being on the insurance committee, I think is an important thing for me to continue. I sit on now as ex officio, but that's a pretty important committee. As a realtor, I sit on the board of realtors, and I have a passion for policies. And it's one of those nerd things that I like to dig in and go through. I enjoy the policy committee. It's something that we review different policies, and if something needs to be done, we talk about it. And that's where the input from the public is important. We need to hear if you think there's a policy that needs to be changed or implemented. I mean, we'd be happy to at least look at it, and the cabinet would discuss that with the superintendent. My favorite one, Sports Authority. I love being on that committee, and what that is, it helps the community be involved with the sports from the school district. Howard Wood Field being used for many different things like the upcoming marathon. So I also have been on the equalization, as we all have, and I love that. Everybody else doesn't like it, but being a realtor, that's kind of a fun one for me.
And Kate?
Well, for the last 6 years, I've sat on the Head Start Policy Council, and that's probably my most favorite committee that I'm on. I don't know if it's just because I've been on it for as long as I have, so I feel like I have a real grasp of what the Policy Council does. I think my other favorite part of that is that it's actually a parent council. So most of the participants on the council are parents of Head Start students. So it's just always fun to see them come in and rotate in and really feel empowered about what they're doing and what their children are doing in their classrooms. Some other policies or committees I'm on the policy committee, which I've also been on for 6 years, and I've really valued that experience as well because it sort of your inside look to the district and how it functions. And I really love to keep pursuing that. It's also what I do for a living. I work in policy for Sanford Health Plan, so I'm kind of a nerd that way. So Todd's a insurance nerd, and I'm
real estate
and a real estate nerd, and
insurance.
But I've sat on the Safe and Secures Council. We had at one time a Health and Wellness Council that I would like to maybe see brought back. I thought we did some great things, and I think there's still room to grow there with that committee. So that's what I'd like.
Thank you. And we're going to move on to our next question. The school board works with legislators, employee groups, and the public on many varied and complex topics. Let us know what your communication style is and how you can impact the communication style of the district. And Kate, we're going to stick with you.
Okay. And this was legislators, community.
Employee groups, public.
Well, I think this is key to our job, is to keep that path of communication open. You know, as I've sat in the SFEA interviews, now this was my third time, and third time being endorsed, so thank you very much for that. But I've always said, anytime you want to meet with a board member, or anytime you want, I can't claim that for everybody, but anytime you want to meet with me about board issues, please call me anytime. And legislators, we do the same thing. We invite them to We invite them usually here to the IPC to discuss upcoming legislation, challenges for us, just to get them aware of what our district is facing. And I think that's a really important opportunity that we provide for them. The community, obviously, extremely important. As Randy alluded to, we had the, funding 101. We have done a Common Core 101 before to explain to the parents what that means. Anytime that there are opportunities like that to provide information to our districts, we're more than happy to do that.
Thank you. And Randy, you're next.
Okay. The best approach I've come across when communicating with folks is you need to stop talking and listen. And listening first goes a long way with who you're communicating with. And it's giving them feedback along the way as you listen, so that you can reassure them that you are listening to their concern and that you feel it. Along with that is, I think you need to create opportunities for communication. You need to open the doors and allow more opportunities. So being more visible, getting out more, reaching out more instead of waiting for them to come to you. It's pretty intimidating to come to a boss or to come to a school board meeting and present something. So those are the styles I'm open to, is listening, creating opportunities, and being open. And then that allows ways to move forward. And then it offers compromise. It offers dialogue, and along the way, hopefully get some things done. And that's at all levels, whether it's with legislators, community members, your staff, faculty, whatever it is.
All right, Todd.
We once a month meet with city, county leaders. It's a breakfast that we have with other school boards in the area, the county commissioners, the city commissioners. And that's a great place to have open dialogue about what's going on everywhere. I have been accused of talking too much about teacher pay, and I did let them know I would quit talking about it as soon as we resolved it, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. I think we have a great relationship with SFEA. When I first ran, they kind of held my hand and helped me get through this, and I'm a huge teacher's advocate. There's no secret to that. When your parents are teachers, I'd sit at the dinner table and all I heard about was how can we make life better for students. That's what I grew up on. And so I'm a big advocate with listening to anybody that has concerns from the teachers. And the big thing is the legislators. Instead of the fractured relationship that we might have now, I think President Alberti and the rest of us have reached out to many legislators and built some relationships. It's not going to happen overnight, but we realize we all have to work together. And to solve any problems, we can't point fingers and say, you did this or you've got money for this. We all need to get along. And I think my style is listening and being available.
Thank you. Well, our next question is one that you probably all should have anticipated. What do you prefer for the school start date?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And first up is Todd.
Well, I can say I've tried to be an ear. I've tried to listen. I know there's been accusations that we haven't been available. I think any of them will let you know. I always answer the call, and I'll call back and give you my best opinion. Right now, I personally feel that we need to stay where we're at. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces to a calendar. And even though it's going to go to the vote, and we'll need to figure out what the voters want, and we'll work with that. I just see too many reasons academically that it would be beneficial for students to start where we are now. And I know that the calendar committee has a big job ahead of them no matter what happens. But it's a sore topic, and I'm sorry that it got to this point.
Kate, you're next.
Well, I I often, when people ask me this, I say, well, do you want me to answer as a school board member or as a parent? Although the answer is really the same for both. As a parent, I have elementary age children, so I can understand, I guess, the argument about having, the actual summer months open for kids and not have to be in school. But I really have always told myself that I'm, as a school board member and as a parent, that I'm a parent looking forward to the future needs of our students, and not just for my kids, but for every kid. So when I look at my own kids who are in elementary school, I look and see what will their high school career look like. And I want to be able to give them the best opportunities that they have available to them. And to me, that means starting when we do, giving them those few weeks extra preparation for AP tests, giving them a true break over holidays, over the winter holiday, and just giving them that opportunity to wind down and decompress before starting a new semester. It's not about retaining knowledge. I have full faith that they'll be able to retain the knowledge. It's just giving them a true break, which also means quality time over the holidays with my kids.
Thank you. And Randy?
Thank you. I think this has created a wonderful opportunity, hasn't it? We've gotten a lot of statistics out there on both sides on is it good, is it bad this date, is it good, bad before Labor Day, after Labor Day. There's all kind of stats being tossed out there. And everyone's debunking, each side is debunking the other stat. And so who do you believe? It's tough to decide. I'm telling folks, vote with your heart, what you feel you believe. You don't need me to tell you which way to vote on the calendar. My point I've been saying is I am disappointed it has come to this point. To me personally, I don't like either date. I think a compromise should have been settled on, and it could have been settled on. So if elected and be able to get on that committee, I would look for a good solid compromise date. Because you're also forgetting about the teachers in there. The teachers have a say in that too. That's messing up their schedule as well with training, days off, things like that. So you really got to look at it almost in three ways. So please vote with your heart, what you feel is best, and we'll go from there.
Right. Thank you. Our next question. With more federal and state regulations concerning education, what do you see as the role of the school board now and in the future? And we will begin this question with Randy.
As regulations come down, I think what the great opportunity is each school board still has control of what they want their curriculum to be in the classrooms and how they want to regulate policies. And so as a school board member, you got to look and dissect those regulations and see what's going to be best for the students in our district and our families as a district. We have great curriculum coordinators. I got to meet with all of them, and they have great ideas. They have great strategies. They've got great trainings available for all the teachers to help move forward in any direction that this comes down to. Whether you're talking Common Core standards, other standards, we still get to set that locally, what the curriculum is going to be to meet those. So I think that's the great opportunity of a school board is to set those, and at the same time getting that information out to the parents, out to the community that we are working hard to get your kid to meet these regulations. And if you do have a problem, come in and talk to the teacher. I'm sure they'd be willing to explain how it's working. And as a school board member, I would be reaching out and explaining those regulations and why the curriculum's either changing or staying the same or what we're doing. So it's still, that's the important role of the school board, is really defining that curriculum that we get to set locally.
Thank you. Todd?
With the regulations, we go back to the communication with Pierre and our legislators and the administration in Pierre. Randy hit it. We have standards that we need to follow, and those need to be worked on, and that comes to us. And the curriculum we get to help with, and that's needs to stay as a local control. And as we work on the curriculum, we try to do what's best for each and every student. So I think the communication between not only ourselves and the teachers, the school board, to find out what's most important, but us and the state is important as well, because the three of us all have to figure this out and piece it together and make it work. We're trying to do what's best for the children. I mean, it's nothing more than that, and we all need to work together to make that happen.
All right, thank you. And Kate?
You know, I think we're pretty lucky. We've got a really good working relationship with the State Department of Education. So right there's our opportunity for discussing any federal regulations that come down the line. You know, we still have a tremendous amount of local control, as already explained by Randy and Todd. So, you know, when it comes to curriculum and policy, we're able to use our backgrounds and our expertise, and of course our expertise in the administration, to determine what's best for Sioux Falls and what's best for our students.
All right. Our next question then is, what will be the most pressing need facing the new superintendent? Will you have advice for him, and what will that advice be? And Kate, we will start with you.
Just writing it down.
I got what will.
I
Just
will-
kidding.
No.
You know, I think the most pressing need, I mean, obviously, the first 100 days of our with our new superintendent are going to be key. And sorry, allergies, I'm losing my voice. And Dr. Maher already has an excellent 100-day plan put into place. A lot of it has to do with communication and engagement and collaboration. So we're really excited about that. I think those are challenges that we've had, and he is willing to come in and work on those full force from day one. I think that, what was the other part of the question? Sorry.
Testing me. What advice will you have for him, and what would that advice be?
I think, honestly, the advice I think all of us would have would be just to listen. Listen to the groups that you're talking to, from the teachers, the staff, the students, the community members, to legislators. Just listen. Take that time to listen and see what the needs are of our district. Get to know our district. Get to know the school board members. I think that is probably, that'll be my biggest piece of advice.
All right. And Randy?
Obviously, starting any new job, the biggest pressing need is getting to know the program you're involved in. There's a lot of policies, a lot of procedures, a lot of funding issues out there, and that's going to be overwhelming for anybody coming into that position. That's going to be, I think, one of the pressing needs. Is he's moving from a little smaller district to almost 4 or 5 times what he's used to. So I think it'll be a challenge. I think he's totally capable of doing it, looking at his resume. And getting to know staff will be another pressing issue. There's a lot more staff here, a lot more moving pieces involved. And there's a lot more buildings to go visit. So my advice to him would be to turn into a sponge and absorb everything you can in those first 100 days and be open. And as Kate pointed out, you got to listen and listen and listen some more, and just absorb what you can. And in those 100 days, I think you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish after you've just sat back and observed some pieces.
All right, thank you. And Todd?
You know, we're awful excited, and this is an opportunity for us to make some changes and to see a new day. I think the most important thing, or his biggest challenge, is going to be to empower the teachers and build those relationships and build trust. I think he also needs to be an effective spokesman for the district and have a good communication with the media as well as the community. The advice I would give him would be open your heart, open your ears. We've got an unbelievable school district. I'm real sorry for Nebraska's loss, but I'm pretty excited about our gain. And I think his first 100 days, he had mentioned all he wants to do is listen, get a feel for what's going on, talk to administration, teachers, and even students. He had mentioned talking to the student council. I mean, what a great opportunity to get a feel for our district. So it's going to be a nice, refreshing start.
All right, thank you. We will move on to the next question. What is the greatest strength that you will bring to the school board position, and how will you use that to best serve the board? And Todd, you get to start.
See, I just answered the last one. I'm just kidding. My greatest strength, I think, is my communication skills with teachers and the staff. I've had many people come to me. I've had many meetings with teachers, and I enjoy listening. I'm sometimes not able to fix everything, but I think a lot of times people just want to be heard. I've got, as I said 3 years ago, I'm a big guy with a big heart. And my heart is really into the students and the betterment for the kids of this community. I just want the kids to do well, and I want us to provide them with every opportunity we can, every pathway we can. And that's why I felt that the soccer sanctioning was so important, because here was an opportunity for a pathway of kids that may not have had a successful high school career that are now excited about going to school, plus their parents are excited about having them go to school. And so as many pathways as we can create, and I think I have an open mind for that and search for those.
All right, thank you. Randy.
I think my biggest strength, well, I know my biggest strength moving in, because this is the role that I would like to fill if elected as a school board member, is to be like a community liaison. My community involvement and dedications in various programs in the community, I think, is a very strong asset that I'd be able to bring to the board. Because as we have talked about, you know, the rising issues with free and reduced lunch, diversity, the economic statuses of families, that's what I'm in. That's what I do day in and day out. That's the folks I work with. And and community is going to be the key to help fill those gaps. It's going to help fill those resources. So we need to tie those bonds stronger and get those communities more involved. Get parents, if you don't have kids in the school system, getting those folks involved with the school system, because it all comes down. This is the future of Sioux Falls. This is the future of America. This is who we're serving, and the more gaps we can fill, and the more resources we can throw at folks, the better it's going to help them with their education. That backpack program was a huge success. Kids get to have food over the weekend. How great is that? And what a simple idea. Just something simple like that has filled a gap for our community. So getting those community programs more involved with the school districts to fill in those gaps that are still left out there. And I feel I would be able to help fill those as a board member.
Thank you. And Kate.
I think my biggest strength is, or my greatest strength is my passion for education and children, especially our most vulnerable children. I mean, I see our Head Start students quite a bit. I see my son goes to Longfellow, so I see the free and reduced rate at that school. You know, I see these kids walking down 2nd Avenue without coats on in the middle of the winter. I really try to be the voice for those students because I worry that they don't have someone to speak out for them, or maybe there's someone that doesn't know how to speak out for them and support them. So I think that is my greatest strength, is just my passion for those kids. This is not going to sound like a great strength, but my ability to deal with policies and understand policies, it's more of a background kind of thing, but I think that is a unique asset to the board and what I can bring to the board.
Great, thank you. Our next question, what can be done to increase teacher and staff pay? And Randy, we'll start with you.
First off, it's bombarding our legislators with the important need, with emails, phone calls, and knocking on their door if you can, showing up, visiting with them. That's where it starts. That's where the funding piece, that's where the formula is at the state level. Todd Veek on the Funding 101 piece, he has, I believe, step in the right direction for a formula fix, and hopefully the Blue Ribbon Task Force will identify some key areas to maybe help bump that teacher pay up, get it close to that formula that Todd has presented a few years back. And another key piece is getting some teachers, getting administrators, getting volunteers to go and lobby and peer. That's what I think is going to make the next level here, is actually showing up and telling them, we're here, we want to change, let's make it happen, or you're not getting my vote next time. They keep saying education is their priority, but what have they done?
Thank you. Kate, you're next.
Well, again, Todd Veek is our business manager, and he's our numbers guru, and he does have some good ideas on what we can do to increase teacher pay, because it is something that we need to address in the very near future, because we are losing teachers to our neighboring states, and we're losing teachers even in our local community to just move out of teaching, which is really sad to me that we're losing these sort of mid-level, mid-experience, 10 years in teaching. We're losing them. And it's just really, it's going to devastate our district here eventually. So again, I know Todd Veek has got some solutions possibly to the funding formula. Contrary to what Todd has said, I would not be adverse to a summer sales tax. I think that is a viable option for our area, especially in Sioux Falls when we bring in a lot of tourism dollars, even across the state. We bring in a lot of tourism dollars. So let's use that and use it to our advantage and pay our teachers more.
Thank you. And I guess that leaves you, Todd.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going to go the other way with the legislators. I think we've been hounding them, and I keep hearing, all we see is you with your hand out. I think we need to work with them instead of pointing the finger and saying, you got to do this, you've got to do this. I think we all need to try to figure it out. I'm only opposed to the tax because now my gas is going up. But I like that idea because it at least got the conversation going. This whole capital outlay issue that we dealt with this year came from smaller districts, took the extra money that they didn't use from capital outlay and put it in their general fund to help pay teachers. Now, we've been responsible stewards with our money. We're allowed to take $3 per thousand. Sioux Falls, we take $2.16 per thousand. And so being responsible just about got us caught behind the eight ball. But this shows you the desperation of other districts on what they have to do to help get teachers paid. I mean, there's teachers in small places that shouldn't really be teaching. So we've got to address it, and I just think we need to all work together.
Thank you. This will be our last question before we move to closing comments. How will you address the issue of staff morale? And we'll start this question with Kate.
Okay. You know, we've been talking staff morale for a few years now, and one of the things we did as a school board this last fall was send out an engagement survey to all of our staff. It was from us. We wanted to hear from our teachers and our staff. We wanted to understand what is it like for you in your work area, whether it be in the classroom or clerical or wherever it might be. We wanted to hear from them, and we wanted to hear what they thought, you know. So we got those results back, and we kind of have a baseline now for what we can do with our new superintendent. We can give him that information, and we can go through it and analyze it and figure out what steps to do next to bring morale back up, because we all realize that it's an issue. We realized it again last summer, and that's, well, before that, but that's when we made the decision to send out that survey to really understand where our staff is coming from. And it was important to us as a school board to get that information and, again, use it as a baseline with our new superintendent to address morale in the district.
Thank you. Randy?
When you look at morale, and when it starts going down, it usually means they're feeling like they're not being heard, they're not being supported, and they're not being recognized. And those are three simple ways to fix morale. I would encourage administrators to get out maybe a little more, be a little more visible. Go tell that teacher, hey, good job with that student the other day. I saw what you did with them. It's going to make a difference. A simple thank you, showing them support, bringing them in, and listening to what they have to say. Listen to their real concerns that's going on in the classroom. Listen to their struggles they're having with behaviors in the classroom. Listen to those pieces. And then take what you hear from them and start working as a group to start identifying some key issues on how you can solve those problems. And it's really that simple, is recognition, support, and listening. And that would be, I would lead by example. Like I said, get out there and be visible. Be visible with the teachers, be visible with the parents, and I think you'll see a great morale increase. And like I said, that's going to trickle into the classrooms with the students, and it's going to raise that student morale as well, and it's going to want that student to be there to learn.
Thank you. Todd?
We put the climate survey out, or the survey out last fall to get a feel, and sure, we might have been able to do a little bit better. We learned from that. So continue the surveys, continue talking with the teachers and the staff. There's only so much you can do. Look at how great our school system is with the lack of pay. So we've got some unbelievably dedicated people. But if you keep piling things on their plate and keep shutting them down on ideas and things that they want to implement, it's going to start going south. So I wish it was that easy, but there's things we can do. Again, we need to listen. We've got a new superintendent. If we can figure out a way to help with pay and help the teachers with what their workload is and make it a little easier, each day a little easier, so it can be fun to go to work. When you're not getting paid a lot, it dang well better be a good time to go to work.
Thank you. We are now going to move to our closing comments. And again, each candidate will have 1 minute. We will begin our closing comments with Todd.
Well, once again, thank you everybody for being here on the TV and in the audience. I'm all about the communication. I'm all about listening to the teachers and empowering them. I'm excited about helping Dr. Maher start his new tenure here. I think that we need to be careful down the slippery slope of our free and reduced lunches. We got to make sure to worry about the behavior, and we also need to put our arms around the diversity, enjoy that, and realize the opportunity that it's creating for us. I'm excited to be your board member again, but no matter what, please use your right to vote and get out April 14th and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Kate?
I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight, and I'd like to thank the Sioux Falls League of Women Voters, the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce, the Sioux Falls Education Association, and the school district for sponsoring the event tonight. Exciting changes, exciting times for the school district are coming up, and I would be thrilled to be a part of that. I feel I have the experience and the knowledge to help navigate the school district through this very important time of change. With the 6 years on the school board, I have seen budget cuts, enrollment growth, curriculum changes, new programs, consolidations, new schools, and I've been steadfast in my support of education of the quality education that we provide our students. And I'd like to continue to be able to do that for another 3 years. So thank you.
And Randy, your closing comments.
Again, yes, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and thank the organizations for putting this on. This is a great opportunity to inform our voters. I want folks to know is when I took on this challenge, I told myself I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to do my homework, and I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure that I will be a good Sioux Falls School Board member. So if lucky enough to get elected, I can hit the ground running and not be playing catch-up the whole time. And I've been doing that by meeting with administrators, curriculum coordinators, teachers, community members, other agencies I'm already involved with, and just to get perspective of what they feel the role of a school board member is. So, like Todd said, exercise your right to vote, get out there, let it be known who you want, and I just appreciate your time and efforts, and hopefully I've proven myself on my homework piece here for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we want to extend our thanks to all of you as school board candidates and for participating in our forum tonight. We wish you well in the upcoming election, so please give them a hand. Great job, everyone. We will be taking a 5-minute break so that we can prepare for the next segment of our forum, which is the school start date referendum. We will begin promptly at 7:30, so if you're coming into the room later than 7:30, please be quiet. Thank you.
Betty, thank you so much. You were easy on us.
Yeah. Well, they were easy.
I never cried once. Good job.
Good job, Todd.
Yep.